Hey you all, welcome back to the Three Rings, and today I want to stay on the positive side of things. We're going to be talking about hope, why it is so important to changing the world, manifesting and really imagining a better future, and how that also gives us hope for a better future, and why it is so important to revolutionary ideas to be hopeful and try to find the best in the current situations we have, because energy is so important, but I think it's so hard to sometimes not get caught up in the negativity of just the world and the sad and I think bad things happening to a lot of people and the current systems we're in. So yeah, let's focus on the positives today. Let's focus on mindset and on love and on hope, because without hope, we really don't have a lot. So I believe it's from Star Wars, and there's a quote that says, "Rebellions are built on hope." And I think this is very true. It's through hope that we can imagine a better future. One without, repressive systems, one without racism, one without, classism, and all these other things that are really hurting people. That's the future we want to have. And hope is important, and we need hope, but we have to combine our hope with action, right? To make the world a better place, we need to do things to make the world a better place. And our hope is important because it's inspiring. When you see someone with a vision for a better future, you want to latch onto that. When you change yourself, it changes the people around you. It's positive energy. I think when we see someone around us succeeding or just changing as a human being, we're like, wow, that's inspiring. I want to be like them. I think rarely we ever can force people to change, but what we can do is change ourselves. And by doing that, then the people around us start to change and the world starts to change. And I think that's how a movement happens. You look at influential people like The Rock, right? The Rock isn't forcing you to like him. He isn't forcing you to become him. But he is such a charismatic, kind person who loves his family, who's a go-getter with his businesses, that you just can't help but love him. Same with people like Jack Black. I'm using celebrities right now because these are people I really look up to. And they're very charismatic, very kind and funny, and they're not trying to force you to like them. They're just being themselves. And themselves, I believe, is loving, is kind. They're putting out good energy into the world. And that is what I think me and you need to do. And it can be hard to do, especially when you're focusing and seeing all the negative stuff that's happening, all the stuff that's happening around the world that is truly sad, truly horrible, and what we're seeing happen to these other countries, to our own country, whether it's revolutions where innocent people are dying or where people are dying fighting for a cause that is just. It's hard not to be down, right? It's hard not to feel like the world is caving in on you when you're barely making rent. It's hard not to feel like things are bad when medical bills are piling in, or all these other things that you shouldn't have to deal with, but because of our current system, you do. And what I want to say as well is, I'm not saying ignore the bad. Don't be like, oh hey, I'm going to be so positive that I'm not going to see the bad things happening. The bad things show us where we need to improve, right? When we see injustice from America's police force, right, where people are dying that don't need to die, people are getting hurt, people are getting shot. When we see things like Cop City coming up in Atlanta, we need to rebel against that. We need to stop those things from happening because that is not good. But focusing just on the negative and being so caught up in it, where it's like, damn, another person's died, another thing has happened, can be very depressing. So we have to rely on hope that we can create a better future, and we can't let that hope go. Once the people in power take away our hope, take away our idea for a better future, that is when they win. And they actually have sold us on a false future. That future is called the American dream, because hope it's a double-edged sword. And I read a book about this, and as much as hope is important to rebellions and revolutions and change, false hope is also important to keeping people in place, right? The American dream is that anybody can succeed given hard work and a little bit of luck in the American system. The fact is, it's really hard. I still believe some people can succeed, but if you've had a really rough hand, let's say you're a minority, your family is poor, and just a slew of other things. Maybe there's medical expenses that happen to your parents, a bunch of other stuff. It's going to be way harder for you to get through life than anyone else, right? And it's wrong. It is completely wrong. Our system is built on classism and racism, and it really makes it hard for a lot of people to succeed. And we can't ignore that, right? And the American dream is like anyone can do this, but the fact is yes, maybe they can, but it's going to be extra hard for a lot of people, especially people of color, especially low-income families. So, I think people who, oh my God, that car is loud. I think people who are speaking and be like, hey, be hopeful, you can be the change you want to be. And while I do believe that there is a lot that the universe can give you, there's a lot of manifestation, a lot of positivity, and that's what I want to focus on in this video, we also can't ignore the injustices of a system that is repressing certain groups. We can't ignore it, and we have to change it. So for me, remaining positive while addressing the injustice is what's so important. So not being sold on the false hope of the American dream, which does not exist anymore, but finding our own hope of how to succeed, of how to be the best we can be and make a new world. That's what we need to be hopeful for. Because while things are bad, I do believe the universe can give you whatever you need. I believe it's going to give me whatever I need, right? I believe that we can break away from the system, because at the end of the day, we are all energy. We're all spiritual beings that are tied to one another. Money and all the system humans have created can't hold back that energy that is love, that is hope, that is us, that is this universal consciousness. That can't be held back by human systems, right? Because we are this just huge amount of, I think, love, energy, and hope as a society, as human beings in general. That when we tap into our true power, there's nothing that can hold us back. And I truly believe once we start realizing and believing that, hey, I am worthy of being wealthy, I'm worthy of being heard, being seen, I'm worthy of setting boundaries that are healthy for me, that's when you become scary to people who want to manipulate you and people who are trying to keep you in your place, right? Whether it's the elites up top in our government, our corporations, or maybe manipulative friends or family members. Once you start to realize that you are worthy of the best life, that you are worthy of love just for existing, that you are worthy of wealth, you are worthy of health, and you are worthy of knowledge, worthy of all things, then I think there's this abundance of hope that starts to come into us. And it's really been, for me, these last few weeks or week or two, where I've been a lot more hopeful, because researching and talking and making content that I do for this channel, I'm looking into the really shitty stuff that our corporations do to us. This last video I made was about the food industry, and they are so about profit that they're willing to poison us, right? They're willing to poison people to make a quick dollar or two, and they're not making just a quick dollar or two, they're making millions of dollars and billions of dollars. So it's hard not to get caught up of like, shit, this is sucky, how can I escape? So really what's helped me remain positive and hopeful is actually ingesting positive and hopeful content from people that, can lift your energy. Whether that's a person on YouTube. For me, I've been watching a lot of Lynette Atkins. They have really good content. I know some people really like Heinz. Heinz has good content too. Or other channels like Yes Theory. I used to watch a lot of them. They're really cool, and they show you a different perspective on the world. Also reading books. One of my favorite is The Four Agreements. It's very, very just eye-opening on how connected we all are. It's a fantastic read. And I just, I want to be hopeful. I think we all do. We can make a world created for us. We can grasp onto a power that no system can hold back, and that power is us. It's the life inside of us. It's the power inside of us. It's the universe inside of us. It's love. Love is this amazing driving force, just with hope, right? And while love and hope can be used for both good and bad, I think we can harness our love and our hope for a better future to really change the world. It can really change a lot of things. And while I think the idea that love, might be looked at as the simple answer, like, oh yeah, we just have to love each other. Love looks through all boundaries. It looks through all party lines. It looks through all religion. It looks through everything. And love is scary to the people in power. Hope is scary to the people in power, because when we just love each other for being human beings, nothing else, well, then they can't divide us by putting us into the box of man or woman or Republican or Democrat, or liberal or woke or conservative. They can't put us in those boxes and make us hate each other, because at the end of the day, we know that we love each other. We know that it is our strength and community that will change the world. So we need to love and hope. We need to love each other, and we need to come together and envision a better future. We need to hope for a better future. We need to write it down. We need to look at it. We need to plan it out, draw it out, journal it out, make videos on it, right? We need to really invest in making a better future with one another, because when we see each other for what we are, which is human beings that just want to be loved, that just want to have community, that just want to be safe, that want to build the life they dreamed of, to have the farm they want, to build the business they want, to maybe live in their dream house or raise the kids they want. When we look at people just like that, like, hey, we're all human beings that just want really love and security and the ability to have a happy life. That's all we're asking for, right? That's all we want. We have our ambitions, we have our goals, we have our loves and our hobbies. But we currently live in a world, in a capitalist system, that's making it harder and harder for us to enjoy life, because they are sucking us dry for our labor. And we have to make it stop. We have to stop conforming to their system, because the more we conform to it, the more we feed into it, the more we will continue to suffer. That sums up the video. Thank you guys for watching. I was trying a new setup with my Blue Yeti mic that I've had for a while, and I'm like, you know what? I want my audio to sound crispier, so hopefully it does. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and yeah, remain hopeful, dream big. The universe will give you whatever you need, and we can break this system, we can work through it, and we can make a better system together with love, with empathy, with understanding, and with the knowledge that we are worthy and that we are brave and that we can do this. I believe in you, and I love you guys. Peace.